जस्ट रिमाइंडर फॉर एवरीवन, अगर आप पहली दफा इसको वॉच कर रहे हैं तो नहीं आया तो नंबर स्क्रीन पे होता है, मेरे पास पहले से रेडी होता है, मैंने उसको कॉल करना है, आप सुन भी सकेंगे मैं क्या बात कर रहा हूँ।
He reached 415-412-5145 before to get back to you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Eric, this is Siddique. Oh, here you go. I'm leaving a voicemail to you so I can actually see you right now. So thank you, Eric. I was just leaving a voicemail to you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I appreciate that because I was just wondering if we have to wait more or we have to go, So Connexus.com?
Connexus.com, that's correct.
Connexus, see, thank you for. Well, I have no idea what I'm going to do when I grow up because I can't even pronounce your company name right.
It's Latin for join.
Okay.
Connexus.
Connexus, okay. And I'm just setting up. I will. Okay, Eric Daimler.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. You are an author, CEO, co-founder, policy advisor, investor, and speaker. Oh my God, how many times the hats you wear every day? So all these hats you wear every day, or is it one day at a time?
We had the good fortune of serving in the U.S. federal government, working with the Obama White House. And that was my extent as a policy advisor full-time. That is not my day job today.
Okay, not today. Okay, today what we are talking about? As a co-founder of your company?
Today, I work as an investor, a board member, certainly as an author, but most of the time leading a company as a co-founder and CEO, Connexus.com, which is an MIT spin-out.
Wonderful, wonderful. Eric, before we go live, I have around 2 minutes. I'm going to ask a few questions just to get to know you more. I will ask tons of questions in 2 minutes. Very quick answer. We are not live yet. Call is being recorded. My team is watching. However, we are not live yet. Okay. So is it okay if I ask a few simple questions?
Sure.
For your Connexus.com, how many active clients you have right now?
15.
15? And it's like a database company. I worked for Oracle in my former life. So is that like those databases, or we are talking about some other databases?
We do database restructuring, refactoring, upgrading. So we do not, we are below the level of database. We actually define the standards for graph databases as an example of our platform. But that's just one of the many expressions available from discovery and math that powers Connexus.com.
Okay, wonderful. And you're looking for more clients, or you're happy with the 15?
Every company wants to be growing. Every company wants more revenue and more customers. Our customers tend to be very large, with highly sophisticated, highly complex data infrastructures. So doubling or tripling the customer base is not something that happens overnight, but we absolutely want more customers.
Wonderful. Have you seen all of my questions today?
I had, yeah.
Okay, so there are 2 questions I need to know the answer. One is, how young are you?
Yeah, that was a funny one. I'm 52, but that's a weird question to ask, and I feel like I'm in this day and time.
Understood. And the second question I need to know the answer is, what's the impactful book you have read? Can I see the book cover, please?
Right. I unfortunately, when we scheduled this, I find myself traveling.
It's okay. So, it's okay. I have the answer. Do you have your cell phone with you right now?
I do have a cell phone. I have I have my tablet. So I'm going to bring up.
I just go on Amazon, Kindle or Amazon.com. Go on Amazon.com. Just show me the cover, please. I just need to see the cover.
You know, it's funny, I could have two answers to that one. One would be this one, but actually what I might do instead is I'd bring up my co-founder's book. I think he might appreciate that one better.
Okay,
So
let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do both. Don't worry about it. I want to cover both. Okay.
all right.
And I will give you the opportunity to pitch about your book too. However, please do not include in the answers to my questions. I will ask a separate question to you.
Don't talk about my book, you're saying?
Don't talk about your book when you're talking about someone else's book. I know people inject everything. We are in the same business. So
Sure.
I will give you the opportunity to talk about your own book and a separate question. I will add that question on the fly. Okay.
Okay.
So that way the answer to my question is specific to that question only, not to, I don't want to mix it up, you know, because you work for Obama, that really
Yeah.
mean I know you guys are master of putting things together in one sentence, everything, you know, so I know that. That's why I have to mention it to you, you know, because this is not an advisory question. This is about real business and real stuff. Okay. Understood?
Fair enough.
Yeah, thank you for your service though, because that's important. People like you actually put us where we are right now. So
Thank you.
yeah. I'm ready to go live unless you have any other question for me.
You know, I want to bring up just as those book covers, just so I can have this be really quick and easy for you.
That's okay. I give you a moment to do it too, and don't worry. You know. However, only start answering the question once you have the book cover to show. Okay.
You are a professional. You've done this before.
You know what? That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I'm ready with the. Now I got the ready.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. See. Yeah, see, that's why you worked for Obama. Picked up the right person. You know, so I can tell. Okay, I'm ready to go live unless you have any questions from me.
I am ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you. I will open up and then bring you in a moment. Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets, available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, L.E.G. Daimler. L.E.G. is an author, CEO, and co-founder, former policy advisor to Obama administration, investor, and a speaker. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, L.E.G. Daimler. L.E.G., welcome.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me, Mohammed.
You can call me Siddique if you like to. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
You know, I'd say it's my father. I grew up with an engineer father and a business person in my mother, and really the combination of them gave me inspiration to do what I'm doing. My father gave me a computer when I was about 9 or 10 years old that I physically put together a long time ago, and he really helped. Naturally launched me on a career to be spending 20+ years in and around artificial intelligence.
What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid?
I think standing still is a little bit of a generalization. It's an abstraction, but I find that I've been well served by always looking to grow, and learn, and that's in a particular way, so it doesn't come across just as a cliche. I will try to be comfortable and synthesizing what we learn as a company, as individuals in our company, but our primary value is in learning quickly, so learning, growing. You know, I also find that even though people will say that they listen well and pay attention to how people are behaving around them, that listening is a skill that we can all develop. And towards that, it's a type of constant curiosity that I think allows us to have longevity in contributing to making the world a better place. So those three things, I'd say, look to be always growing, listening, and curiosity. That's a little bit of a what to do and what to not do.
I'd like to have a follow-up on this one. When it comes to listening for your former boss, name starts with O, Obama, was a good listener. How would you rate from 1 to 10? Be honest. You don't have to be diplomatic because you're not getting a paycheck anymore from him. That's why I'm asking.
You know, I will take a quote from one of my colleagues that worked in the White House at that time, which is he said he would work for many, if not all, presidents, but for that president, he would work with enthusiasm, and that's how really I felt at the time. The man is really quite extraordinary. Thought that then. I still think that now.
If you have 3 lines to share about him as a kind of testimonial about him, as almost your testimony for him, what it would be?
3 lines. I think he is also curious. I didn't really mean to connect that, but you know, he is curious, disciplined, thoughtful, and inclusive. You know, he would, in my experience, really make sure that everyone in the room had a voice. It's often my experience in Washington that we'd have these rooms filled with people that might sit outside the table listening, but with President Obama, he would ask people to speak, to make sure that he had a full range of views elevated to him.
How did he do when did not agree what you said? You know, so how was that interpretation of that?
Yeah, I don't want to make sure I don't give the impression that he and I were sort of beer buddies or that I was at the cabinet level. You know, my interactions with him were few, but they've always been very positive. You know, I was in what's known as colloquially the science advisory group, or worked with that group. So I'm not really in a position to have presented anything that I think was necessarily controversial. I had the privilege of working as a sort of AI authority during that time. The person previous to me now works as the Dean of Engineering at UPenn. There was no one after me during the last presidency, 45.
Yeah.
But that domain of expertise that I'm fortunate to have lived over the last 20 plus years tends to not have anything terribly controversial, at least in the way that I'm expressing it.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
You know, I have, according to my wife, have many strengths. Telling stories is not one of them. I have a technical training that has served me well in many different expressions over my career. But I find as I've gotten older and more experienced that the people want to hear experiences. So when I got out of the administration, I was presented with many opportunities to speak and to write. I had a really difficult time trying to put those into stories that people would resonate with and want to hear. As you can probably hear now, I'm very good at talking in abstractions. And theory is really where I've gotten trained, but the brilliance that's often expressed in popular writers like a Michael Lewis or a Malcolm Gladwell, they're so well known, they're almost cliches, that I've come to deeply respect the skills that those two and people like them express in their writing.
How are you recovering from telling stories? Where you stand? How did you recover from that?
You know, I've been writing quite a bit more. I've even hired people to help me in telling richer stories. So I have definitely gotten better at that. I can tell better stories even around how customers use Connexus's products. the before, during, after benefit, which may seem pretty basic to many people listening here, has been something that I've developed to get better at in both the clarity and the speed.
What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
The biggest one my wife gave me, or rather my wife's family gave me when just observing me earlier in my career. That's a Swedish saying. My wife's family's Swedish. The Tragen Wiener, if I'm pronouncing it, Tragen Wiener, I think is how they pronounce it. And it means the persistent will win. It's consistent with some advanced education, some advanced degrees, where I have come to the belief, having held one of these or a couple of these degrees, that it's not necessarily smarts, but that signify some of these degrees, but it's absolutely tenacity. The tenacious will win, the persistent will win from Tragen Wiener. I think is the one of the hallmarks of what I've done so far, be it what it is. So I hope to just continue that. I also find that, again, curiosity, a willingness to explore and question my assumptions has been terribly useful. And I'll say one more thing actually about that. It's a discipline I picked up from a friend of mine, Tom, a long time ago. He's a very successful venture capitalist now, and he forced me to be a disciplined investor by actually writing down the assumptions under which I was making a choice to invest or not invest, and then using that to reflect on further decisions to be made. Do I want to sell that investment, or is there something to learn from that decision, yes or no? It's substantially more powerful to do that if I had actually written down what the assumptions were that had me make that decision to begin with. That makes it much more likely that objective is the decisions can be based in fact, and it facilitates my learning as a business person and as an investor.
Wonderful. We are about to move into lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
Let's go.
What are you grateful for today?
Grateful for my health. Grateful that everything's working, and I'm here with you. I can feel that in my bones. Pun intended.
How young are you?
52.
Eric, you are not 52. You are 18 years old with 34 years experience.
Thank you.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I am doing exactly what I want to be doing. I'm very grateful for being able to do exactly what I be doing. I have a lot of freedom to be expressing a set of experience that I've had, and I look to include more people in the conversation around the deployment of these powerful digital technologies. So that's really the next phase for me with my company and with my writing, is to bring people in that don't necessarily have formal technical educations, but nonetheless are bridging the encoding of our values in digital technology and the expressions those technologies take into our world. That's my mission for the next 20+ years.
Just a reminder, we are in lightning round. Okay. How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
Tenacity is a good one. If we could, well, that's a quick one. Also, distinguishing facts from interpretations is a quick way to level myself.
How do you start your day?
I start with meditating, then I start with exercise.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
Smile more. I smile more now than I used to when I was younger.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Facts help a great deal.
What is the impactful business book you have read, and what did you learn from it? Go with the first one, please.
Yeah, I tend to not read business books. I think
Okay,
most of them are.
okay. Please show the cover first before then say. Yeah.
The best book that I've read is a book by my co-founder, Category Theory for the Sciences. That's the best book. Second best book, The Tools. And this is more of a psychology book than a business book, but I find that those sorts of books are very useful in a business context.
Okay, please answer this question for each book you mentioned. What did you learn from it?
This book, the Category Theory for the Sciences, it talks about the impact of this branch of mathematics to the world over the next 10 or 20 years. Category theory as a branch of math, I think will replace calculus and linear algebra and make it maybe even geometry and trigonometry and make those branches of math appear a little bit like Latin does today. This is the math of the future.
Okay, let's move on to the second one.
The Tools I find is terribly helpful as a psychology book. I've recommended this book to many people. What's interesting about this book, I find, is that it's just a real practical way of uncovering some of the reflexes in thinking that we all have tended to develop for good or ill.
I understand that you are author of a book yourself too. Can we see your book and why someone should read it and what will be the impact on them?
I am in the process of writing. It should be out next year. The book has a working title, which is AI for Good, how people with non-traditional backgrounds are making a difference in the technology world, and how you can as well. It is a collection of stories with the thread of some guides and how I think we can be interacting with AI. For example, having human overlays, human audits. For example, having safeguards, breakers that humans inspect. That's the point of that book, and I hope people buy it when it comes out next year.
Why being impactful is important to you?
I'm not sure why it's important, other than that's the nature of me. Me just being me. I want to be making a difference in the world. Perhaps setting an example setting a good example of just living a good life for my nieces and nephews, and for just working to leave the world in a better place in the way that I can. Through my education, which is making sure that technology serves humanity. It's just where I feel that I can make a difference. It's a lot better than me just sitting on a beach.
Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
I have the good fortune of staying in close communication with the members of my PhD advisory committee. Jim Morris he's just fantastic. He was the dean of the School of Computer Science at Carnegie Mellon, and the man's full of a lot of wise words. Similarly, Kathleen Carley, she's just wonderful in her ability to think broadly about how technology is expressing itself. She's implementing a new field of social cyber security, recognizing that people have a big role to play in having our digital infrastructure be secure. Those are two just fantastic people with a lot of wisdom to share.
I like to interview both of them. Do you please kind enough to make me an introduction and recommend me as a host as a guest for them?
Happy to do it.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I'm not really concerned about being remembered. I think that'll just be up to the people after I'm gone.
Who is your ideal client?
An ideal client is one that for whom we can provide a great deal of value, and is a good communications partner, I would say. Technically, the perfect clients for Connexus, our firm, are those with large data infrastructures, large, complex, heterogeneous data infrastructures, but relatively homogeneous data sets. That's technically the best clients for us. That's in a range of industries, generally large, complex organizations with legacy data systems.
How can we support you?
I can be reached at all the typical places, LinkedIn, Connexus.com, or Twitter handle is EAD, or however you want to reach me. But Connexus is growing, hiring, and we'd love to talk to you if we can help.
We are about to wrap up. I'd like to have a few words about your today's guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
You're quick and prepared, Siddique. This is you know what you're doing. The experience shows.
What would you say as a final word?
I'd say the word of wisdom. Someone asked me this, but what are the 5 words that define my future life? Perfect, but there's room for improvement.
Thank you so much, Eric, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes. Eric, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let me say this. You are not as good as you think. You are better.
Kind.
I like to have a follow-up call with you to figure out if there's a way for us to actually send you more clients for your business. That will be a 30 minutes call. It will be a Zoom call. Are you open to that idea?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, 1 second. Please look into your calendar. I just wanted you to know we are still on recorded call. My team is watching. We are not live anymore.
Okay.
What day we are looking at it?
How about next Friday?
If Friday is your favorite day, today we can meet at 5:30 East Coast.
5:30.
Next Friday.
I can do 30 minutes at 5:30 East Coast. Sure.
Today or next week?
Next on Monday. Sorry, Friday the 11th.
11th.
Yeah.
1 second. Let me. Okay. 5:30. Okay. I'm about done. I'm just sending you the calendar notification.
Perfect.
Okay, you should have received by now. You can check on your phone or the email.
I'm sure I have it, Siddique. Yeah. Did you send it to Connexus.com?
Yeah, Eric at Connexus.com.
Yeah.
And phone number I have is ends with 5145. That's your cell phone.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, and if you like, did you get my email?
I did not, but unfortunately I have to go. I have another.
I have to. We both
client right now.
We both have to go. I will text you the
Okay.
link to join for the 5:30 one on the Friday one. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Siddique. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Even on this call, we are out of time. I have the other call scheduled. And right on the dot, we left. Meeting schedule हो गई है. आपने देख लिया. ओबामा का एडवाइजर आया बंदा. मुझे नहीं पता था पहले, मैंने प्रोफाइल कोई चेक नहीं की. पॉलिसी एडवाइजर तो बहुत सारे होते हैं. उसने ओबामा का वर्ड यूज किया. मैंने ओबामा के 3 सवाल पूछ दिए उसको. सही है. ओबामा के लिए टेस्टिमोनियल ले लिया ना मैंने, उस कैटेगरी के कितने बंदों को मैं ला सकता हूँ अपने पास, उसके लिए मैंने पूछा है। मुझे उसका क्या करना है पता करके, मुझे खुद कुछ नहीं करना, उस कैटेगरी में मूव करना है तो उस तरह का एक बंदा पकड़ो, जैसे भी आया है, जहां से भी आया है, उससे उस कैटेगरी के बंदे की स्टेटमेंट ले लो। ओबामा के जितने चहेते हैं वो सारे उस टेस्टिमोनी को वॉच करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे, ये बताएं। करेंगे ना?
वैसे तो जिस स्पीड से हम इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं ओबामा भी आ जाएगा इंटरव्यू में।
ये तो यार टेस्टिमोनियल आपने दे दिया है। अच्छा, स्पीड की आप बात करने लगे हैं तो लेट मी गिव यू द स्टेटमेंट टुडे। अवैस ने मुझे बताया, मैंने वेरीफाई नहीं की क्योंकि उसको मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया हुआ करने को। वो है कि कहते हैं जनवरी 11 से लेकर इस साल 2021 की हम बात कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि रिकॉर्डेड कॉल है सो आई कैन से दिस, 372 इंटरव्यूज किए हैं 112 दिनों में। ये डेटा नंबर तो स्पीक्स फॉर इटसेल्फ ना। तो ऑन दी एवरेज 3 से ज्यादा बनते हैं ना, मोटा मोटा सा आप कर लो एक दिन में, क्योंकि उसमें कई दिन मैंने 10 भी किए हैं और किसी दिन मैंने कुछ भी नहीं किया। वो सारा कुछ होता है ना, उसमें ईद भी आ गई, सारा कुछ है, आगे पीछे हुए रोजे भी आ गए, स्लो भी कर लिया। मैं फॉरगेट ऑल द एक्सक्यूजेस, यू कैन कंबाइन इट, एट द एंड एवरेज इज मोर देन 3+ अ डे। 3+ अ डे अगर आप कर रहे होंगे तो 1000 इंटू साल में आप आराम से कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, और अभी तक ये करके इसमें सीखने में भी, चक्कर में, सिखाने में भी कोई अनक्वालिफाइड भी आ जाते हैं। वैसे ऐसे जैसे आपकी टीम बनती जाएगी तो हमारे पास ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड लोग आ जाएंगे, यही है ना। वी आर डेवलपिंग टीम एज वी गो एंड वी आर इम्प्रूविंग प्रोसेस एज वी गो। कोई सेट स्टोन तो नहीं है ना, फैसला आपको पता है इस बात का कि नहीं। हम जब मसला आ रहा है उसको चेंज कर रहे हैं, उसी वक्त चेंज कर रहे हैं। आप इसको हम ऐसे करेंगे ये रिमूव हो जाएगा। वन चैलेंज तो जिंदगी में आने ही आने हैं। And here's the best part, while we are learning and improving the team and system and everything, we are making money at the same time, okay? जितने पैसे हमें चाहिए उतने बना रहे हैं नहीं। That's why we are trying to expand the team to make it that way. अभी इसका एंड रिजल्ट ये आना कि जिस स्टेज पे हम लेके जा रहे हैं इसको, आई नो द फिनिश लाइन वो क्या है। जो बंदा मेरे पास आया पैसे देने के लिए तैयार होगा पहले से, वो प्री इंटरव्यू में हमने उसको इतना टाइट कर देना है। ये जो प्री इंटरव्यू कर रहे हैं लोग, उनको पता है इस बात का कि कितने क्लाइंट है आपके पास, क्या चीज सेल कर रहे हो, कितने की है, आपको नए क्लाइंट चाहिए और कोई भेजेगा तो आप उनके लिए तैयार हैं, उसको क्या पे करेंगे। अपनी तो बात ही नहीं कर रहे, उसके बाद एंड पे उसका नाम छोड़ के अपना नाम लगा लेना, और तो कुछ भी नहीं करना ना। वी ऑलवेज स्पीक इन थर्ड पार्टी लैंग्वेज। आसानी है, आप रिजेक्ट मुझे नहीं कर रहे, उसको कर रहे हैं जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है, ओबामा का जो एडवाइजर रहा है, मैं इसके प्रोफाइल चेक करके आऊंगा नेक्स्ट मीटिंग पे, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट। इस पे तो मैं आई केम एज अ डम पर्सन ऑल टुगेदर। क्योंकि पिछली मीटिंग खत्म हुई है, उसमें कितना टाइम था फैसल मेरे पास इस पे आने के लिए, बताएं। नॉट इवन सेकंड नहीं था ना, कुछ भी नहीं था। अगली बात है, अगला बंदा लेट है तो मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, मैं उसको वॉच कर रहा हूँ। द मोमेंट ही शोज अप आई विल बी गॉन फ्रॉम दिस कॉल। आ गया, ओके डन। देखें, think of a devil is here. I have to go. Thank you.